yeah, I'm left.
Yeah, you're good.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, dog? Watch it. It's gonna
Nice
bite you.
bandana. Very
What's
nice.
up? Yeah, we covered up the. Oh, here we go.
Is everyone here at Google encouraged to bring their dogs?
Yeah.
You guys, it lives up
Really?
to its reputation.
Googly moogly.
So welcome to Talks to Google, guys. I'm Kevin Valk. So we have, of course, Dax Shepard and Michael Peña for CHiPs. So let's welcome
Got it
them.
right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so hello to everyone on the live stream as well. So welcome, guys, to Google. Phenomenal film, hilarious. And Dax, you wrote, directed, produced it, and you executive
And
produced
starred
it as well.
in it.
And you guys starred in it. as
I
well.
executive, but I think that's a title at this point. I'm like,
gotcha.
I really didn't do anything.
You were really good in the movie.
Thanks.
You were?
man.
Yeah, exceptional. Yeah.
Thanks.
No, it was great. So where did you come up with the idea for to making this a translation from the TV series to the movie?
I was Googling, I really was. I was writing a different screenplay and I made a Poncherello joke. And I don't know how to spell Poncherello, so as I often do, I check my spelling by searching the word, or the messed up version of the word. Can you swear on whatever
Yep.
we're doing? I don't even know
Oh,
what we're
we
doing.
can?
This, I feel like I'm in the Jetsons.
So much better.
Great. So I Googled Poncherello, and this image of Jon and Ponch popped up, and they looked really cool, which normally they look very 70s. And they looked kind of tough, and I was like, oh, there's like a Bad Boys version of CHiPs waiting to be made. And I just love motorsports and cars and motorcycles and boats and things you put gas in. So I'm just always looking for some way to do comedy and car stuff.
And you knew how to ride bikes. Did you know how to ride a motorcycle? Or no?
I trained for 4 weeks, and that's all I needed.
That's all you needed?
That's
To
all I
catch
needed.
up
was
to
it?
me.
You did
Yeah,
everything?
to catch
30
up
years,
to
yeah.
30 years of writing. No, I basically I wrote a lot, but I wrote in a straight line for most of it.
Very well, though.
Yeah.
One of the straightest lines I've ever seen.
Forget about it.
The stunt guys were like,
Whoa,
he's
dude.
like got a laser pointer on that or
I know.
something.
And basically, it was just my locked arms, making sure that I don't swerve.
And so, Dax, and you had written and directed a couple films, but what made you want to write and direct this versus just starring in it? Was it just you had a passion for the series and thought it was great?
Well, I actually did not think I was going to act in it. I was just there at Warner Brothers to sell them the idea of me writing this version, and then hopefully they would let me direct it. All I knew is I wanted Peña, and then the studio exec said, oh, okay, and then you'll play Jon, and I was like, no, I think you should get a movie star like Chris Pratt or somebody. And he's rightly or wrongly said, no, I think you should do it. So then I did it. Yeah.
Wow. And so why did you
It's hard for me to concentrate on this. Can I just say this?
Yeah. Why?
Because we don't ever interact with folks like you. I'm actually more interested in you guys than I think. I am certainly more interested than I am
What
in
questions?
us.
What questions you got?
Well, it's just
I don't know,
what
it's
kind of
just-
lifestyle would you guys lead?
I
You
know.
know what I
Are
mean?
you guys
it's
high?
you know what I mean?
Are you guys on mushrooms?
Are you smoking that kush?
Are you
Like
all?
that-
Are you
that dope-ass
geniuses?
pindweed over here?
Are you incubating your
Was
children
your
at home
IQ
in
always
test
high?
tubes?
Did you always have a high IQ?
Did you guys take jetpacks here to work?
I mean, do people dictate and read to you, or like, what do you?
I don't know. This is really fascinating. I'm from Detroit, which is a very industrial, blue-collar town, and this is very think tanky, and I'm just very fascinated by this whole thing. What is the average age? What is the mean age here at Google? Do you know?
16?
16.
No, I think 16.
A little
No, I
older
think-
than I thought it was.
I don't
That
know
would
what
be.
the age. I don't think we ask ages. I have no idea. 32. There you
32,
go.
of course, someone
Trade
here would know
dues.
that. That's
Trade
That's
dues.
got to be an industry
But
leader.
we do have a Greyglers club. Greyglers, so we add G
A what?
to everything. So you know Googlers, so Googlers are employees, Googlers.
Uh-huh.
And then if
Oh.
you have Greyglers, if you're
That's
over the
a
age of
little
what, 50?
offensive. No, Googlers, a little condescending. Anyways,
Yeah.
All right,
So if you got gray hair and you're a little bit older, Greyglers.
you're Greglers.
Greyglers.
Oh,
Yeah,
so we would
so it's
be
like an age
Greyglers.
This is
It's like
kind
the
of
arc
like
of Google.
Walmart calls their employees partners. What do they call them? Something condescending and bullshit.
Marty's like Walmarties.
No, it's
I
they
just
call
made that
them
up.
like their
But it'd be
partners.
good. They're Martys.
Associates. They're not employees. They're associates. As if they own it or something. I don't know. How do you guys feel about Googlers? You're not allowed to say. You like it? That's fantastic. That makes me feel a lot better.
That was
it
an
means-
interesting nod. She loves it.
Because if Panay had to go by chippies for the rest of his
No,
life, you'd be
It wouldn't
furious.
happen. No.
Okay, so we like Googlers. See, this is, again, we're learning something right away. I'm going to bring this info back to LA.
Yeah. I don't think you have to. They just go on Google.
Okay, great. Forget it. I won't bring it back to LA.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry, I just need
no
to
help
get
with the
that out
segue
there.
into the next question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
That was a perfect segue, huh?
Yeah, perfect. We so actually going off that then with improv. So was that prevalent on the set, or
No.
you guys it really stuck to the script?
No, I mean, we rehearsed like for 4 weeks, and he was
wow.
basically rewriting, and we exhausted every possibility. So usually he just wrote what he thought was the best, and 9 times out of 10, that's what it was.
I love improving in movies that I haven't written. And then the ones I write, I'm like, this is perfect. Why would we mess with this? This is like, who wrote this? Yeah.
So how did you guys know each other before? Like, did you know that you wanted Michael for this? It was just.
So when I went to Warner Brothers, I said, okay, how about CHiPs reboot? And it would be like Lethal Weapon or Bad Boys. They said, great, who would be Ponch? I go, it has to be Michael Peña. He's the only guy that I think could play Ponch. And they said, oh, we love him, perfect. But I did not know Michael, nor did I ask him if he wanted to be in CHiPs, but I sold it as him starring. So when I left that meeting, I was like, I have got to become friends with Michael Peña ASAP. So my TV sister from Parenthood, Erica Christensen, I knew was really good friends with him. So I called Erica in a panic, like, you've got to tell Peña I'm a good person and a nice guy and then she did that lovingly.
It was almost like, but it was a kind of an interesting text message because it was almost verbatim. He's a really good guy. He's brilliant to work with. And we never talked about business ever before, but she did tell me that the one thing that I do know about this is that you're going to have a blast. And to me, that was worth it. Like when I met him, it was a lot of fun. I was like, and he said, we'll have a lot of fun. And a lot of movies, you don't have fun. So I thought it'd be a blast.
Well,
This was like the Google experience of film making.
Of film.
Yeah.
So it's shot. Did you guys shoot a lot around LA? Because I know it's Long Beach in there, and
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes.
it was all around LA.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I talked too much in these
No, I
things,
said,
so-
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
And-
That's pretty much about it.
Okay, great. So often they make you make movies in other states, even if they're set in California, because states offer tax incentives and they rebate some of your budget back to you. And so we had applied for the California tax credit, which is really, really hard to get. I think they only gave out like 7 or 8 of them. And it's a jobs ratio number, basically, that gets you this incentive. So, we were like waited, fingers crossed to find out. We even found out like a few weeks before we started filming, because the backup plan was to go to Louisiana, and then we would have to call the movie Lips, which would be Louisiana Highway Patrol, and that didn't sound as tough as CHiPs.
Yeah, well, it had some great locations and great chase scenes. Was there any location that you wanted to do, but they wouldn't allow you to film or do any of your stunts there?
I had written this big action sequence inside of Dodger Stadium, and then we got the daily rental fee for Dodger Stadium, and we're like, okay, we will not be shooting there. Let's get into Elysium Park and see what we can do there.
That's when you did the bouncy houses and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get Dodger Stadium, you do bouncy houses.
That's a no-brainer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the most difficult scene for you guys to shoot?
For me, it was a pretty easy shoot. I mean, you as a director probably, what was it? Stunts?
Stunts. Yeah.
And if you
Particularly, there's one sequence in the little more than halfway through where this scene that starts at the drug house, and then there's a chase on Venice Beach, and then it goes into the LA River, and then it comes out onto the 6th Street Bridge, and then there's this motorhome that gets driven through by a Hummer, and then there's I get hit, and then there's an explosion, and all this stuff happens. And that was really challenging because we were shooting on this bridge. We only have 2 days to get everything we need on this bridge. And the 2 areas of activity are about 1/8 of them, more than that. They're probably a 1/4 mile apart. And when you're filming things here, it all needs to be happening back there 1/4 mile away. And you only want to look one direction. You want to look one direction once, shoot everything you need looking that way, and then you want to come around and look that way. You only want to do that once. So trying to map out, okay, if we shoot this, the motorhome would not be destroyed? No, it would be destroyed. No, it won't be destroyed. And just working out the math of all the logistics of that scene was pretty intense.
And Michael, what's it like carrying a naked Dax Shepard? That happens, by the way.
Oh, wait, you guys haven't seen it?
Some have.
Oh,
we had the screen last
okay,
night.
this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm supposed to carry Dax. It's in the trailer. Carry him, and then because he has a bad arthritis and needs to be in warm water, and he calls me out of all people. So I carry him, and then I slip and I face plant into his pubes, But I put him into the tub. And that was pretty tough. And actually, he's pretty light, to be honest with you, for a 6'3" man.
If anyone wants to pick me up after this, I mean, physically lift me if anyone wants to.
Yeah.
Offers on the table.
And so if there's
I can also take my clothes off if you'd like to lift me.
He does like to take his clothes off.
and if there's a sequel, where would you take some of these with these two characters?
Somewhere warm and tropical my family would enjoy being while we shot, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
I think there's a big case in Hawaii.
Yeah. I think
That
there's a
needs to be
huge case in
solved.
Hawaii. There's a huge racing ring in Bora Bora we're
Yeah.
going to have to break up.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, somewhere exotic. Did I hear the question right if we got to do a second one?
Yeah, like where the
Yeah.
characters go, just not with location, but just
Oh,
like
no,
their-
the
yeah,
characters I
their
know for sure where they would go.
Yeah.
Because in the first one, it's like Harry met Sally on motorcycles, so we fall in love in this one. And then I would really like to explore what it's like after you've been dating for like a year and a half, and you don't leave the house much, and you just watch Netflix and wear sweats and gain 15 pounds. I think that'd be a fun place to start, like the doldrums of a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll start
And
doing
what
audience
that would
questions.
do to your work.
Oh my God, dude.
Start doing audience questions in a little bit, so if you guys want to head to the mic. So if you could do one film crossover with like another classic television series with two characters, like Starsky and Hutch or whatever, who would those characters be?
That would be the one. In fact,
Yeah.
I pitched at the end of this movie that we're chasing somebody, and all of a sudden that Gran Torino blows by us, and we're like, what the fuck is that? Like, I wanted to introduce them in the same world. Because they were late 70s LA cops,
Right.
both of them.
Oh, almost like the Marvel Universe, how some would go back and
Yes.
forth. So it would be Starsky and Hutch, the Fall Guy, Knight Rider, and
Dukes of
Chips.
Hazzard could jump through
Ooh.
every now and then.
That's a really cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, actually, so since you're in the Marvel universe, you play you're an Ant-Man, and so going off of that, yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
let's clap for Ant-Man.
3 people just left.
What would you
But we got one back.
who would you cast Dax as in
If
the
I was
Marvel universe?
In the
Yeah.
Marvel Universe, he'd be well, we almost look like superheroes because we had to wear this leather racing outfit for motorcycles. I think he could play a superhero.
Yeah. Which character do you know?
Oh, I'm not well versed on the Marvel. I just read the
Don't
script.
say
and do what it
Man of
says.
Steel.
Who would you want to play Dax?
I think Man of Steel's DC.
It is.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think of the most arrogant thing you could pick for yourself. Like,
Yeah, probably
oh, God, he's
Batman,
going
right?
to say Superman.
Yeah.
Would you have a character you like to play Dax?
Well, in full disclosure, my only awareness of the characters in the Marvel Universe are the ones I've already seen in movies. So, unless Downey hangs up that suit and invites me to do Iron Man, I don't know. The Paul Rudd one's neat because he's more character-y and goofy, and I certainly couldn't. I don't think I could play just like square-jawed, serious guy.
Yeah.
But I would love to play a superhero. I mean, like, I'm in that world. I'm like, it'd be awesome to have, it's something that I'm pitching them, and they're like, yeah, that's cool, man. Why don't you just keep doing what you're doing? But it would be.
Great. So you bring the jokes, though.
Yeah,
you bring
yeah.
the jokes.
Like,
and,
you don't want me to fly or anything?
And so you worked a lot with the CHP, and so did they have like a technical advisor on set, or?
They do.
And your brother's a cop, isn't he?
My brother's a cop, yeah, for sure. But I didn't do too much research into the CHP. No, not for this role.
Because he plays an FBI agent undercover as a cop. So he wouldn't really know a bunch of CHP protocol. And I play a rookie who's intentionally not supposed to know a lot. So it didn't make sense for us to get super savvy. Now, to write the screenplay, I had to learn a lot about the CHP. But as far as the characters, it was best if they didn't know a lot. And in fact, when I had meetings with the CHP brass to see if they would help us, they said they are not following protocol in this movie. And I said, people generally don't pay $14 to watch people follow the rules. As a rule of thumb, they kind of like to see you break the rules.
Yeah, so was there any pushback from them saying you should cut that or anything? Were they just kind of letting you be?
They had 3 really, really simple requests that were not, I didn't feel like compromised any artistic integrity. One was I had inadvertently, by total coincidence, I had named the bad guy the name of one of their most esteemed commander, Ray Blackwell. Apparently there's a famous Ray Blackwell. I just happened to name the bad guy that, and they go, we think it's funny, like the joke about Ray, but I think Ray's feelings might be hurt. And I'm like, Ray's a fictitious, and they're like, no, this is Ray. And so that was just a weird coincidence, so I changed his name. That was no problem. And then also, they really pride themselves on being a very transparent organization. So originally in the movie, it was that the FBI decided they had to go undercover to find out who the dirty cops were. And they said, we would ask for their help. So if you just could, and I was like, yeah, it saves me like a page of dialogue if you ask. I can't remember what the third one was, but it was not very cumbersome.
Was there anything that you learned as a director, or even as just a writer on this film that you're going to take? Because I think you're doing an animated Scooby-Doo. Is there anything that you've learned as like a director, like, oh, well, I should remember that for next time, or I should not do this for next time?
I learned a lot of hard lessons on the first two movies. This one went pretty darn smooth, and when I got to the editing room, I had pretty much everything I needed. So this is by no means to say I've like topped out at the job. Just the last couple movies, I really learned some lessons, like don't let people sit down and talk for a long time. That gets boring, no matter what they're saying. Yeah, like
Here
this.
we are.
Yeah.
Here we are sitting
I guess I
down.
didn't learn the lesson all that well.
Audience question, guys?
Oh, look at this dog! Oh, no.
Now, what if you have dog allergies and you work at Google? Tough shit. You're fucked.
That's amazing. She was right there, dude.
So I work with my husband every day. I was curious, what is it like to work with your wife?
Oh, wow.
It is my favorite person to work with. We get along really, really well, particularly when working together. Because typically in a marriage, you have, here he goes, good job. Really good job.
Taking care of mommy.
Okay.
Oh, he's tired. That's cool.
Yeah. In real life, she probably doesn't want to see the movie I want to see. She would probably rather not go on a vacation that I want to go. There's like endless compromise. But on a film set, you have the same objective every day, which is a really good, easy thing for a relationship. So I like it.
This question is for Dax. How does this film compare to other films you've directed and written, like in terms of labor, processes, et cetera?
And I feel like this dovetails into Google a bit, because this time I had money and I had a really awesome team of people who are super great at their job, and that made things so much easier. The guy, our director of photography, he was a second unit DP on all the Michael Bay movies, The Bourne Identity. This guy had shot thousands of hours of action, and so the way his brain works was so easy.
No, she's taking a selfie of the dog with us in the background.
We're a prop for the dog Facebook
That was
page.
amazing. By the way, that was amazing.
We're
dude.
photobombing
He's like, breaking it down, and you're like, I'm gonna get this fucking selfie. Oh, that was genius. I totally messed up.
So yeah, no, I made my point.
Okay.
Yeah. And more importantly, I made it in his selfie.
Well, thanks so much, guys, for being here. So CHiPs comes out March 24th. Go see it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm
Yeah.
so interested
Thanks,
to ask them.
Yeah, why don't you ask some more questions? You got to go to the microphone though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, but like, what's your day like? Like,
Couple hours of work a day. Yeah.
anybody, like you. Okay, like, what is your day like?
I think one of the misconceptions about Google is we actually work really, really hard.
Oh, okay.
But
No, I no longer
Is
like
that
it.
you work really hard, so you don't work hard?
No, when
misconception is that you work really, really hard.
I've been at Google almost 7 years. When I first got here, it was amazing. Like, there's free cafes, like everywhere you turn, there's free food.
And now
like,
it's slave labor.
People are like shoving food down your face
Yeah.
all day long. There's
Did
like
that stop?
free massages, or almost free massages. No, there's massages. There are gyms. There's like crazy activities you get to do, like.
Any sexual opportunities? It's great for creativity.
I'm married to my husband. I met my
So
husband.
there's a marital chamber for you guys here on
They're
campus?
called spooglers. So when you get married, you're called a spoogler.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like Google has done crazy things. Like we got an email one day, like, "Hey guys, we rented out a theater for you, and it was like the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil show. So we're taking you all
So Michael
to."
Jackson was here? That's awesome.
It was so they took us all to a Cirque du Soleil tribute to Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And like incredibly generous. Like they run, we have another campus down in Mountain View. That's our headquarters. So they run like 10,000 people on private shuttles to and from work every day.
What?
Like travel, there's lots of opportunities to travel. It's
Wow.
like, it's a pretty awesome place to work, but we also work like super, super hard.
Like 4 or 5 hours. I mean, it sounds like you're at Cirque du Soleil quite a bit and eating and
But it's,
at the
it's
gym.
A,
And
I
you
think
gotta
it's
show.
a,
What's an
it's a
average
great place
work
to
day?
work.
When are you expected to get here and when are you expected
Or are you
to leave?
expected
So
to be there?
I mean, I think, well, speaking on behalf of 30,000 people, I think it's a pretty flexible place to work. So that's definitely one of the advantages of Google. People have different work schedules. Some people will get in, like, I think the engineering stereotype is people will roll in like 10 to 12.
Are you in the PR department?
No, I'm in
Oh,
the
okay.
I'm in the engineering department.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
10 a.m. to 12 a.m.
10 a.m. to 12 p.m. you might roll into work.
Oh, in
Yeah.
that window.
And
Okay.
then you might leave work like 8 p.m. or later.
Okay, but
Oh.
we want you here 8 hours a day. Is that the goal?
10
I think
hours.
I think most people probably on average end up working like 10 to 12 hours a day.
10 to 12.
Oh.
Like when you
Okay.
average it all
Is
out.
it like addictive? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think Google attracts
Yeah?
a very.
Oh, yeah?
I
you got a
think
couple people going,
I think we attract a very driven type of person,
Uh-huh.
and so people are workaholics for
Oh,
for
that
better or
sounds
for worse.
good, yeah.
But we hope you enjoy all of our products and that we're making the world a better place for you.
all right.
I'm only aware of the
She definitely
one,
worked for
but
the PR.
she said engineering, but it was really
I know,
PR.
really. You're good.
Does anyone hate this job? Let's hear from someone who wants to make a
Who
move
wants to-
out of the company.
Yeah, like who wants to get fired right now? Who
Yeah,
hates
does
this job?
anyone here want a severance
Basically.
package?
Well, thanks guys again for
Yeah,
being here, and
okay.
Chips come out
Appreciate it,
March
yeah.
24th, so go see it.
Right on, guys.